Welcome back to another episode of Uncropped. Today, I still have Dillon with me. He's not left my side for the past, 3 episodes now?
Yep.
So, we're
We
going to
do
be
not
talking...
live together.
We are going to be talking about 3 a.m., which was actually our most recent film that we've made together.
Yes.
And it was, you guessed it, a horror film. You guessed it, written by Dillon. And
You guessed it.
really
Mike
fun.
helped out. But this time I actually acted in the film. Well, none of
Oh
us
my
really
God.
acted.
Yeah, no one really acted, and it was a very weird film. So go check it out. We're going to watch it again right now and kind of get our mind fresh with it. So we will be right back. So we just watched 3 a.m. again. It's been a while. Well, we shot that a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, September, yeah.
Jeez. I haven't watched it since we originally released it, and I forgot how cinematic, how much better it looked compared to our older films.
Yes. Well, anyway, I'd written this film not so much as, I had a story in mind. It was more an excuse just to test out the new GH5 II camera I just bought. So I'm like, hey, Mike, let's just shoot something and test it. None of us have to be in it. The person in the bed was just me.
You just
the whole
hold the
time.
camera like it's a point of view shot.
Yeah, and because, Mike's been in a ton of films, I've been in his. So we're like, none of us really want to act this time.
Yeah.
Let's just be
Be
technical.
too repetitive.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go through my notes I wrote down as we did it. First off, I love the Insomnia logo. It is absolutely beautiful.
The logo is the part of our company, is a subsidiary.
Yeah, kind of like a subsidiary in such a sense where that's all horror films or dream-related films are like that.
And this is part of the Dreams series.
The fun thing is the opening shot of the moon. A fun fact about that is that's archived from when I did a time lapse of the moon moving at some point. Dylan was like, "Do you have moon footage?" I'm like, "I think so." So I searched and searched and searched, and I finally found that, and it looked really good to be able to put in the film there.
And the day footage, too. That was your time lapse.
Yeah, the sunrise.
Was that Camden?
Yeah, downtown Camden, Maine, at the harbor. I love the transitions at the beginning of the film. I think it looked really good. I think there was some sort of Gaussian blur or something.
Yes.
It looked really good to me.
It was supposed to be a person, they're going to bed. When you go to sleep, your eyes
closed. Yeah.
Your eyes closed. It's a very effects-heavy film and very sound-heavy film because...
Yeah, and that was very clear while listening and watching it.
Because it's not so much a dream, but for those who don't know, again, more paranormal lessons, 3 a.m. is considered the night where the most paranormal activity, the part of the night where the most paranormal activity is active.
Yeah.
The most paranormal active. Am I saying that
Whenever
right?
ghost hunters go, they always go at 3 a.m. or whatever.
Yep, and it's the veil between this world and the other world is very thin. So I said, I'll just do something. Again, this film, I guess you could call it an experimental film in a sense. We were just experimenting with the camera. Because if we're going to use that camera to shoot...
This film tonight, yeah.
We need to test it out.
One thing I like about this is the whispering. That adds such a vibe to it. It's so... it gives me chills when I hear it. It's it is really, really well done. I know it's probably a sound effect or whatever.
Yep.
But still, it was in the perfect time. The echoes.
I just went online.
It matched perfectly.
Downloaded a ton of effects. I edited this film, actually.
Yeah.
Myself. But put a filter on it, made it more high-pitched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's a short film. It's, no pun intended, but it's, 50 seconds? A minute?
Mm-hmm. My one gripe with it is looking back on it. I think what we should have done is in editing, of course. I love the feeling of spookiness when the TV comes on and the lights start flickering. I think what should have happened is if we're looking for that more dramatic, flickering feeling, remember how in Hide and Sleep, where we had the flickering, we could do the same thing. We could have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Just a little quicker for this. and I think it would have fit the spooky vibe just as much.
Yeah, and actually this was all, well, we used one of your lights, but it was, I guess, natural lighting. The TV was the light.
A lot of the light, yeah. I remember that. That was insane. We used like maybe 1 or 2 lights other than the TV, and that was it.
And we tried...
Part of the challenge. So, no, I think that's part of the challenge of the film, was being able to make such a low light film that comes out well and only use certain equipment, because I think that was part of a challenge that we gave ourselves.
The GH5 is very good in low light conditions.
We learned that.
And it went really well. As for all the shots, it was actually Mike's studio.
Yeah. It was like a little guest room or whatever in my house.
So we had, like, if you see all the Star Wars figures, the Washington Commander's flag, the Grateful Dead towel.
Yeah.
It was just all shots. I was like, yeah, let's put it in here. Let's see what the camera can capture in this dark.
So it was a fun little place to be able to capture that, and I think it came out pretty well for our first film in that new camera, new location too. We didn't really know the location too well in such a sense where we made up the shots and where they were as we were doing them. We didn't like scope them out beforehand or whatever.
Yeah, and especially at the end, actually no, before the end, we tried having a shot of a skateboard, like rolling on its own, crashing into some Jenga blocks. It really didn't work out. I was so disappointed because like
we tried so hard.
I couldn't get the right angle. I don't think we had enough shots in between, but like we tried. Also, we didn't have, again, all the lighting. Had to really move the camera quick. It would just look too choppy.
Yeah.
And so we tried.
We made an effort. We tried, and it still came out pretty well. So I'm proud of how that came out.
I'm proud we tried. Like it was a test. This doesn't rank up there with Hide and Sleep or The Last Dream, but
oh no,
it was again a test film, an experimental film. We were just trying because Mike has some films he wants to shoot, and I know some of them are at night or in dark. So this shows what this new camera is capable of. We graduated from the T5i and the SL3 and our phones, so why not?
And also, one thing we found out when we got the camera is it has a specific cinematic mode, which made it so much better.
I don't believe we shot this in cinematic mode, though.
We did go out like the next day and did shoot some other test footage outside with cinematic mode, and holy crap, it was good.
Funny, Mike was making a documentary, and still is making a documentary on Camden.
Trying.
You'll get there.
Eventually.
But no, and we were using that camera, and it's really a film. In between that film, we just said, for 1 hour tonight, another hour or two, let's just shoot.
Yeah. And that's one thing I like about how you and I think, in the sense where we can literally just be like, okay, let's just shoot something. We don't need to have a script. We don't need to have a predetermined idea. We literally can just film.
That's it. This was scripted, but
we really went off of it too.
It was just an excuse film. That's it.
Yeah, I was just like, we just want to film something. Let's do it.
What does this button do?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes the camera, turns it into a Hollywood camera. Great. What does this button do? Oh no, we deleted all our footage. That didn't actually happen, but pretty much. But, I had fun. And I guess, I know it's not special, but this effect of the door opening at the end, how we did that, it was just Mike hiding behind the door, and he had
pulling the little handle,
and he was the one knocking at the door.
Yeah,
make it look like and scratching at the door like a demon.
Oh my god,
or ghost or whatever.
That came out a lot better than I thought it was going to.
It did. We couldn't also bang on the door too hard because we didn't want to, draw attention.
Filmed at like 11 p.m.
Yeah,
and everyone was sleeping basically.
So it was one of those. We had to get it in like one take.
Yeah,
and first time's the charm.
Yeah, I mean it worked perfectly. Well, I mean, that's all we really got for 3 a.m. unless you have anything else you want to mention about it, because that's a pretty short film. Like, once we get into the longer films, like Shouting at the Walls or something, we'll have more discussion to go about. But
and also, it's the first film we put on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a vertical film.
Oh, yeah, so we cropped it to be able to fit on Instagram as well. And TikTok, I think, too.
TikTok?
I think so.
You put that on?
Maybe.
I don't have a TikTok, so...
Dillon's not up with the social medias, but it's okay.
Guys, remember MySpace? I'm old.
No, I never had MySpace.
I didn't either, but no. So that's a lesson for us. Try something new.
Yeah, and it often, whenever we try something new, filmmaking wise, it's really good for us because we just do it and it comes out well because I think we've gotten pretty good at adapting to the scenarios that were presented.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to start writing some of these films. Like, we're always doing my films. I
want to be able to write these films. It's just so hard for me to solidify an idea. You have that naturally flow and come to you.
Well, that's why you practice. Like,
yeah.
Hide and Sleep was, and this film too, was just, I have this idea, I'm just going to write it down. You know, we're in college.
Expand on it later on, whatever.
We're in college. We're up at like 2. I just take out my computer, write random words down, and say, I bet I could make a film out of this. Fall asleep, and then the next day you make it.
Yeah, I have actually.
I've gotten up at 4 a.m. to write a movie, and then just gone back to sleep since I didn't want to lose the idea. I never made that film.
Yeah, I have idea. If I look through my what's it called? My notes app. I have so many film notes. Like, this is one that I wrote down in like May, like right before I graduated, because I was feeling really reflective. I also was isolated because I had COVID, so I had a lot of time to myself and my thoughts. It was an idea for an episodic film series where every season is a different year of college, or every episode is a different year of college in someone's life. Like, follow a character and follow all the experiences they go through.
Like Boyhood.
I haven't seen that.
Good movie.
Okay. But no, I was thinking like, okay, like 5 episodes season 1, that's freshman year. 5 episodes season 2, sophomore year, etc., etc.
Basically, Boyhood followed one actor 12 years. It was shot over a period of 12 years. Ethan Hawke.
That's crazy.
Ella Coltrane. It's a good movie.
Yeah. I have some of these film ideas like just in my notes app. Like, there's a lot in here. It's just a matter of finding them.
And this was an idea that, one of the random ideas, and we made it happen. And from this idea, we could jump forward. And it is part of the Dreams series that I do, so why not?
Yeah. I do want to make a film in the future. I've already written. We attempted to make it, but it failed miserably.
We're going to have to do it again.
Lonely.
Yes.
You actually acted in that, but I might want to change that.
Yeah,
Nothing against you. But.
No, it's... In a nutshell, there were a lot of behind-the-scenes drama and production problems on there that...
And a lot of, like, over half the film got cut out, because it was... I actually have the script somewhere around here. It's like a 3 to 4 minute film. Maybe 5. If
it was supposed to be like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, but
10
it
minutes.
didn't end up happening because...
Problems, hey, it happens.
Like part of our crew ended up not filming some of the most important things when they were supposed to.
Technical difficulties, sound
issues, yeah. We had to cut out a lot of that film, and it ended up going from a 6 to 7 minute film was our goal for the class. It was a collaborative production class. And it was 3 minutes?
Yeah. 3, 4.
And you didn't even get to follow the story. You couldn't tell what the hell the story was. So that's the plan I want to do in the future. I want to redo that film the way that I envisioned it, because I did the writing for the film, and I had to give the film over to someone else to be the director. Someone else had to be the cinematographer, editor, etc.
Yeah, and well, again, that's
filmmaking.
That's filmmaking, but with our creative minds working together, all of us on the same page, we'll be able to do great. I also should mention that all these dream films, before I forget, if you know the song by Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams.
No.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Oh, yes. All right. I just know
you don't like music.
Songs by their lyrics, not by the titles.
You don't like good music. Anyway, though, that's where I get the ideas from. Like, okay, Sweet Dreams, let's make a movie based on that. Little tagline. But overall, proud of this film. I know it's not our best.
Yeah.
I've said this before. It is an experimental, test film.
Not like an experimental film, but experimental with equipment film.
We experimented in this film.
Yeah.
So, Why not? It happens all the time, and we got a movie out of it. So enjoy. And Mike, again, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. I'm not the guest. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah,
in
I'm
here.
taking over your podcast.
Oh God, no! Let's not do that. You already have a podcast.
Yes, check it out.
Yeah. So we will talk to you next time. I don't know what film I'm gonna do next, so you'll find out with me. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next week on Uncropped. And so's our theme music again.